I had complications afterwards. That was the problem.
Well, that often happens in pregnancies.
Hey, we're up, Vinnie. How are you?
No, are we up? No, I can't believe it's you. Here I was every morning. I'm looking at the screen here, the Patuta, and nothing, nothing, nothing.
Well, I'm sorry.
Three nothings is not good. One nothing, I could have let you live with two.
After a simple surgery, I should have got better. Instead, I got worse.
Well, you must have my doctor. Because I had, well, you had a hernia. I had an appendix, but I had a doctor that gave me a hernia by taking out my appendix. Oh no.
Well, now you see we have three people from our past who are in the news today. Mary Lou Retton got arrested for drunk driving in West Virginia.
I saw that little slut.
we knew she was trouble right from the start. We knew that was nothing but trouble. Trouble on a stick. Trouble waiting to happen.
Tom Lee's office, I told you.
she said we were trouble for her. Turned out it was the other way around.
Exactly.
Sean Kemp pleads guilty to that shooting from 2023 down in Tacoma. You know how it is. Didn't we both shoot at somebody in Tacoma before it was all over?
Yeah, I mean, you don't get to go to Tacoma unless you shoot at somebody. They actually make you pull off the highway at the rest stop there, get off, get a gun, just fire it into the air, and then you keep going. Otherwise, you got to pay a $50 fine.
First of all, I didn't shoot at anybody. I shot back at somebody. That was all. That was my. We heard you guys in the morning show.
I've heard that defense before, Michael. I have to say that I've heard that defense before.
And third but not least, Todd Tinsley, the Texas White Trash reality show star, was pardoned by Donald Trump after owing $38 million to the government. He's going to skate on that. I guess it's Don Jr. Usain Uday will pick up the tab.
No, not Tinsley. What is it? Something Chesley. No, not Chesley. He's the guy from the reality. Well, that's a reality show too.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Chesley explains it all, or whatever.
Yeah, but there's two of them. There's the Chubley is who I'm thinking of from the.
But this is the blonde white trash guy from Texas.
Right, the person that you look at the television and you ask yourself the serious question: what the fuck am I doing watching this?
And this guy is famous for telling the whole family what to do.
Yeah. I like to hit him on with a bat. Now, I'm going to warn you something. I haven't told you this before, and I'm going to warn you this because it's going to come up, I'm sure, several times today. Excuse me. I just binge-watched the last couple of days the first two seasons of Tulsa King.
Oh, I didn't really like that much.
Well, I'm liking it less as it rolls along, but I do have to tell you that there's at times it seems like they're playing like they want to be in a mafia show, but they're not really in the mafia.
Well, they're in Tulsa, so that's a bad start right there.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I'm trying to figure out. Is it that the show is set in Tulsa? And they all are just figuring, well, I got to do, this is an extraordinary acting job. Or is it that they're just all so far past their prime, except for the woman who owns the ranch? She is not even come close to her prime yet. But
she has prime to spare.
She's got prime to sell Amazon. If they need more prime, she could go.
And does that come with free delivery, I wonder?
I hope so. I really do. But anyway, so I picked up kind of, at least for a day or two now, I'll probably have it, the vernacular of the show.
And what would that be?
Well, it's just total unbelievable Italians from New York, the kind your parents always told you to stay away from.
Well, Stallone's from Philadelphia, remember, so there's a disadvantage there.
Right, but he's playing a New York mobster, so see, I've never been able to really take Stallone as a mobster.
He's just a good. He was a nice Italian boy in school. That's all I can tell you.
I have easier time taking John Travolta as a mobster.
In fact, because I did go to school, and I can tell you that he was the nicest guy. None of the attitude and negative side that we see attached to his so-called Stallone character.
Yeah, but boy, I got to tell you, he doesn't come across anywhere close to it. I mean, he has the movements, he has the mannerisms, he has the accent, he has all of those things that you would look at and say, well, that's the package.
Well, Ray Liotta had all that.
Yeah, and what's worse is the guy who plays the motorcycle gang leader does a much more believable job than Stallone does. The guy with the God complex.
Well, you know what nobody does better than The Sopranos is the reaction to a situation where somebody does something out of order, and they go, oh.
You see, that's a well-written show, The Sopranos, is that you may never ever come close to that again.
No,
you're much more astute in the affairs of writing than I am. It's funny. We've never, except for All My Seahawks, we've never sat down together and written something.
No.
And you did most of the work on All My Seahawks. So I've never had the experience of sitting down with you and saying, all right, let's construct a story and let's put what we both know into it and see what happens. And I respect that because I don't know that I have that talent to do that like you do. You have a talent about
I think you have the talent. I think you have the talent to freeform it. You have the talent to improvise it.
I could sit there and you could walk me into an improv club and say, all right, do a half hour as a New Jersey gangster or a New York gangster. And I'd have no problems. I give you all the O's that you need.
Or a cab driver.
Not just that, but putting them in context. Anyway, I don't know where I was going. Oh, I know where I was going. But you have that thing that I wish I had. That I wish, because it would allow me to write the book that I want to write and possibly write the movie I want to write. Anyway,
autobiographical.
No. Well, yes and no. Yes and no.
Some fiction, some reality.
Yeah, nonfiction. But you have a way of telling a story that I don't even approach. And these guys that are writing this, and I know one of the guys. What's his name?
Taylor.
No, is it Ron Burkle? Burkle is a guy that's from Pittsburgh.
Uh-huh.
He's not from Pittsburgh, from Hollywood, but he's got strong. He's from Pittsburgh. Anyway, make a long story even longer. It's not a well-written show. It's not a believable show.
Why are you streaming it so hard?
I like Stallone. I like the woman who runs the horse farm. I really like the woman who runs the horse farm. I find myself somewhat infatuated with. But it's just it's a weird thing.
So you got an infatuation over here.
Yeah. Well, I definitely have an interest that goes far beyond your normal jumping from building to building.
Beyond clinical.
Well, she's a very attractive woman. I enjoy watching her. She's got, she's got the Irish thing going on. That kind of Irish look. She's a tough ass broad, but yet
she got a horse farm. That's a good start.
Yeah, very feminine. Anyway, to make a long story shorter here.
So you're going to recommend Tulsa King?
Boy, Mike, it's one of those shows that I'd say you gotta watch it, but I don't know if I'm telling you to watch it because I think that Stallone is so stupid in it, or that I'm telling you to watch it because I think he's really so good in it. The writing's not good. The cast of characters, almost to a person, overplays their part. The only guy who I don't think overplays his part is the kid that plays the chauffeur.
Well, it's interesting that you're watching a mob show because I'm watching an English mob show called Mobland on Paramount.
Yeah,
and I was gonna get out of it. I was gonna quit that show, and they had a great episode last night. So now I'm back in.
Well, see, it's hard to buy for me. It's hard to buy Pierce Brosnan. It's hard to buy him as
he's
as
great.
a mob guy. I'm sorry.
Oh, he's an Irish mob boss. Irish as the day is bloody fucking long. You got and Helen Mirren is his wife.
Maybe I'll have to go back and give it another sit down. My problem is that I start watching these shows at 11 o'clock at night.
I know, and then at 4 a.m. you're saying just one more.
Yeah, exactly. Or more to the point these days, I I sit up and I go, what did I just waste my 4 hours of my life on? I got, 1,100 hours of my life left, and I just wasted 4 of them on.
Well, I recommend Mobland, but I'll start with the fourth or fifth episode.
Yeah.
I thought it was too slow to begin with.
Are they making mob stories? Are they running out of ideas for mob stories? Are they running out of? And by ideas, I don't mean kidnap somebody, hold them, torture them, kill them, bury them. Are they trying to, because they don't have great mob stories anymore? Are they trying to move things from other genres over to mob stories and make them seem believable,
and throw in a little romance besides?
Right, and it doesn't. It doesn't work because the words of, well, I guess they're the words of Michael Mann, but I think they are the words on screen of Robert De Niro. Is you got to be ready to drop everything and run. Your life, your love, everything you got. You got to be able to drop it and run right away.
Ankle and disappear.
Yeah. You know what that's from?
Variety.
One of my favorite movies of all time, Heat.
Heat. Oh yeah, I know the one you mean. Yeah. I know the scene you're talking
Val
about.
Kilmer and a great cast. Tom Sizemore is in there. Just an incredible cast of characters in an incredibly written movie that was probably 10 or 15 years ahead of its time. Amy Brenneman, and of course De Niro and Pacino.
Well, you mentioned one of my favorite actors who died just a couple months ago. Well, hell, you just said his name. He played Val Kilmer. Val Kilmer.
Oh, Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
But you You mentioned Val Kilmer, and it made me think of Rick Derringer. Don't ask me why, but I just wanted to say goodbye to rock and roll Chiku Rick Derringer from yesterday, dead at the age of 77.
I saw that, and it saddens me because Rick Derringer's work, his guitar lines, his kept me well entertained the first time I was ever in the hospital.
Oh.
His as many people know, and some probably don't, that his first huge song was "Hang On, Sloopy" with McCoy.
Hang On, Sloopy.
And Hang On, Sloopy was number one in September of 1965 when I was laid up.
You're bound to hear it on. If it's number one, you're bound to hear it on WABC.
Oh, you heard it repeatedly on WABC, but you heard it everywhere. And you, because it was one of those songs that could be like a little bit of everything to everybody. I mean, Sloopy was kind of cool for the kids, you know, so the parents didn't mind them listening to Hang On, Sloopy. Anyway. He did a great job, and then of course with the other stuff that came along, and I'll really point my finger to Edgar Winter, and
there's somebody you will remember this, but a lot of people will have forgotten. He was one of the stylists that worked with Steely Dan as a studio man.
Yep, of many who they brought in. It was like an oil change place that used to bring in guys who worked other places on other days of the week.
Rick Derringer meet Larry Carlton. Larry Carlton, say hello to Denny Diaz on the way out. Skunk Baxter, come on in.
Really, you need to pick up some extra money? Be at this address at 9:00 on Saturday night.
We're going to work you for 3 hours, erase everything you do, and bring in another guitarist in the morning and redo it.
Right, but you'll get paid, so don't worry about it. And when you're
you get paid, yeah,
a not so struggling musician,
all the same, you get paid.
Well, you get paid. There's going to be these two guys that are very strange, Becker and Fagan, and they're going to have.
They're not going to tell you what they want. They won't tell you what they want. They won't tell you if you did it right.
Right, but you'll do it, and you'll walk out, and you'll wonder for the rest of your life if you did it right or not. And, years from now, when the album is reprinted or looked at by musicologists or whoever, you'll be asked, what did you think when you were recording this thing? And you'll say, I don't even really remember recording it, to be honest. I don't remember with you.
That's you right there going to do. That's it. That's all they used.
We have empirical proof that you were the person that recorded this thing. But yet.
That was you. What? You're on the fade.
It's true pretzel logic.
Damn. That's all.
Yeah, he was. Derringer did some. Why am I? He just did some things that hadn't been done in rock and roll yet. I can't say that they were the greatest things in the world or that they were something that anybody hadn't thought about. They just hadn't put them where they were supposed to be yet. He did. I
worked with a guy who was a newsman, and he would say, "Let's go rock and roll hoochie coo" before the newscast. And it always, I know he was trying to create an atmosphere, but to me, it was just such a silly thing for a newsman to be saying that it always created the wrong atmosphere for me. I wish he wouldn't say it, but he said it every goddamn day. Let's go rock and roll hoochie coo. And then today in the news, what are you talking about? Rock and roll hoochie coo.
Some people, Michael,
just can't find the groove.
They just no matter what you give them, no matter what kind of pill you put in them, no matter what drug you hand them, no matter what kind of thing goes on in their life, they're just not going to get it. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it is. It is.
We were off the air for about 2 weeks. It was my fault because I had surgery and didn't recover very quickly. I felt like shit. As a matter of fact, you're supposed to have your surgery and then get better and then get well. I had surgery and got sicker and got sicker. So anyway, Kristen took care of me. Otherwise, I would be a casualty right now.
Love but her. Go buy that woman some flowers.
But the moral to my story is surgery doesn't make everything better. Careful how you proceed, caution where you step, and make sure you have good doctors and good aftercare. And then you'll know what I know right now. The doctors are great and they're very talented and they're very educated, but you can't beat a nurse.
I was lucky enough to find that out at a very early age.
The nurse is the boss.
That the doctors will stand around a table and they'll look at their charts and they'll write shit down and they'll, but it's really the nurse that's running things.
They don't leave here until you write shit down. Come on, write some shit down and then you can go.
Mrs. Murray, who was the old style, I suppose she might have been an ex-Army nurse.
She learned the hard way.
Ran things in the orthopedic ward at the hospital for special surgery back in 1965. And then she ran the clinic downstairs, which I came to know was an infinitely much more complex job than anyone could have ever imagined. It's certainly more than just sitting at a desk and, telling people, put this on there and put that on there and wrap it like this. And no, it's a whole thing that you wouldn't even, but she had it. A doctor had to go look in a book. Yeah. Mrs. Murray had it, all of it, right up here. And the worst wearer of lipstick I ever saw in my life.
Never mastered the lipstick part.
She never got the lipstick part right, man. Her lipstick was always, her mouth was at a perfect 90, but her lipstick was at 88.
Maybe she was putting it on while walking down the hall with a clipboard and a syringe.
It may have been. But anyway, I'm sure she's long gone. She was old in 1965. But I came to know in the 3 weeks that I spent in the hospital the first time that she knew what the hell she was talking about. She knew more than any one of these doctors. Like, these guys might have been able to go in and weld a bone, or might have been able to go in and take a bone out, or do
she
something
knew the story.
Like that. But she was the one that knew how to make everything work after you took the bone out.
Getting well's not easy.
Getting not easy. And Mrs. Murray, she was a no bullshit nurse. I mean, she didn't take bullshit from the doctors, which at that time was something that nurses did. They kept their mouth shut. And they listened and whatever the doctor said. And if you were going to inject somebody with something that they shouldn't be injected with, you kept your mouth shut. You didn't say anything. Unless, and even then, you didn't say. Anyway, she was a good woman. I never realized it until many years later. But she ran that clinic and that ward.
Those recovery wards are tough.
and they used to do incredible work in hospital for special surgery. I mean, what I went in for was a minor, ankle fuse. It took 3 bones, made them 1, took some bone from somewhere else and slapped it in there. And, after 6 months, you're on your way. She mastered the art of how to make you recover without serious pain or discomfort. And not by the use of drugs, but by the use of just her knowledge of how the human body worked.
Experience.
Her experience. And I would have loved to have seen what she would do today. Anyway, I don't even know really how we got on the subject. Oh, yeah, because of Kristen. But I respect so much nurses and what they're able to do with some of the shittiest people you'll ever meet on the face of the earth, either doctors or patients, both sides of the spectrum. So I applaud.
It's quite a spectrum, and it's a shitty spectrum to be stuck in.
Yeah, because there's no relief.
I wasn't getting any better, and I was thinking maybe I'm not going to get any better. That has to cross your mind.
Yeah, you're stuck in that place that says, "This is as good as it's going to get."
This ain't good. You're trapped. Yeah.
And that will play. I mean, you think it sucks when you're 70. When you're 10, it really sucks. It really makes you feel like it fucks with your life. So
anyway.
Yeah. I'm glad you're all right, Michael. I was a little worried. I gotta admit, as I think anybody should be at this, when we get to this advanced stage, especially
well,
you.
The funny thing is, I'm atypical. I've always been atypical, but now that I'm older, it's worse. What's supposed to happen doesn't happen. Something else happens instead. Well, that wasn't supposed to happen. Yeah, but that's me. With me, this is the way it works.
Right.
This is how it happens. Right. Kailani's that way. Our grandchildren, not so much, at least not now. Maybe later in life, they'll start showing signs of atypicality too. Well, I don't recommend it.
I'm glad you're okay. Well, at least as okay as you can be at the moment. And I'm glad that you.
No, I'm pretty good. In fact, I said I'm pretty good. In fact, the wind down from the actual surgery, the bilateral double hernia repair, was minor compared to the complications.
Yeah, I was.
Which I won't go into too much detail. But when they put you to sleep with the anesthesia, the body wakes up, but sometimes the male bladder does not, and that was my problem. My bladder would not function.
Yeah, that's not a
good place to be.
You want to happen.
You just don't want that to happen. I'm telling you now.
Well, I'm glad that you're showing signs of being on the good side of things. I'd be pretty fucked if you went away, pal. I mean, I know we're all going to go away eventually, but I'd be pretty fucked if you did.
Well, I feel the same way. I couldn't let you down.
And when you get to this point in life, when you have friends that you know and you trust and you just know that I don't know. I love you, pal. I wouldn't want to see anything happen to you, and I'm worried, get nervous. So
you should be worried because I'm going to Tacoma, and that means I'm gonna have to shoot back at somebody. So, wish me luck.
You have to. You can't just go to Tacoma. I told you before. You got the thing. You pull off, And it's Southwest 54th Street, right there by the shopping mall. You get off, you pull into the thing.
Do you say anything before you shoot back? Do you say, "What's that smell?"
You pick a direction. You say, what kind of people do you not like the most? And some people go, I don't care. And some people go, Filipino. And some people go, white people. And some people go, black people. And depending on what your answer is, they point you in a direction and they say, have at it. Because we got all kinds here in Tacoma.
You can shoot at them, but don't hit anything. It's the Sean Kemp rule. You can shoot, don't hit anything.
Yeah, don't hit anything. And you got Sylvester Stallone standing over there.
Don't shoot at him. He's an actor.
Right.
He's an actor already.
He's well compensated for coming down here.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
What? What is it?
I didn't get that. Could you try it again? Your voice got much louder, and then the computer wanted to know something. Had a few questions it had to ask.
Yeah, I don't know what my computer since we stopped doing the show every day, temporarily, my computer has gone into. I wouldn't call it a shutdown. I would just call it a work stoppage.
A slowdown.
A slowdown. It doesn't work like it used to. And I've tried to fix it, and I've resisted the idea of having to take it in to get fixed. But I probably should have done that in the beginning. But now it seems to have developed.
Now you got to work around. It likes to talk back to you. It likes to talk.
Yeah,
likes to interject.
It's become the Mrs. Murray of computers.
Tutors.
Doesn't care about what I think. It cares about what it thinks.
Most computers don't care about what you think.
Not a good thing. Anyway, what else? There was something else that happened that we wanted to comment on, and it's escaped my mind at the moment. Oh yes, going back to Tulsa King for a second. The actress that plays Sylvester Stallone's daughter, for some reason, grates me the wrong way.
You don't like his daughter?
Not his real daughter. His real daughter is playing the horse groom. Or I think it might be his granddaughter, actually. But the real the television set daughter is playing his daughter on the show, and she makes my skin crawl.
Ouch.
And I don't particularly like her or her appearances in the show. She seems like a spoiled little pain in the ass. But
not a ringing endorsement, as we know.
Well, yeah, because you need people in those parts that, in that particular type of part, that are believable as a daughter, or there has to be some compassion there. But
we'll make a list of the actors and actors that you don't like right now, and we'll have them ride on the Elon Musk's new rocket. They'll be the next 7 celebrities to go into space, or not, or go partially into space, or up in smoke, or over the Caribbean or someplace. He's mislaunched these last 3 rockets, and these are the rockets that are supposed to take us back to the moon and then on to Mars. So you want to get on board with Leon?
He's launched his last three. He's mislaunched his last 3 rockets.
Yep.
But yet he still has 11 children. How do you figure that out?
I think the women did all the work.
There seems to be.
You know, he didn't do any.
I really, boy, I tell you, man, I hate to be a complainer, but I really get to the point where I start to more and more dislike him.
Oh, yeah.
He's just
and the beard he's trying to grow and is so ill-advised. Why would that guy with those hair follicles on his face try to grow a beard? It's not going to work. It's never going to work ever. And he keeps working on it.
He's not a likable chap.
Well, every day the insanity on this planet, the insanity that this planet is experiencing due to Donald Trump and the dark, odious men who follow him is something that we're getting used to. We're getting accustomed to it. What's the madness today? Oh, interesting. What about what's Harvard doing today? Oh, what about Greenland today? What about Macron, the Prime Minister of France? What about the King going to Canada? What did he say? What did he mean to say? What should he have said? What did Trump say about anything? For crying out tears.
It'd be a better world if these people found some other place to peddle their wares.
Maybe you've heard the phrase of eat shit and die. Have you heard that phrase? I didn't make it up. It's not mine.
I believe I might even had a T-shirt that said that at one point.
Well, that's my advice for all of them. Start at the top, work down. I'll tell you when to quit. But right now, eat shit and die is my advice. Coffee.
There's just a lot of there's a lot of people that just bug me right now. That you're bugging me, man. You're bugging me.
Dick Shawn.
That's it. Thank you.
Shawn.
Thank you, Dick Shawn. You're bugging me, man. You're bugging me.
It's a mad world.
A man who did more with one scene,
with nothing,
in a movie,
Mama.
Maybe Mama. Anybody. I'm coming for you, Mama. You stay there, Mama. I'm coming for you. It's a shame that movie is so old and that people don't revere that scene or hold that scene in the kind of esteem that it deserves, because it truly, to me, is one of the greatest comedy scenes of all time. The whole thing with Dick Shawn, from the dancing with the chick in the apartment, all the way through to them passing each other on the road, on the 2-level road. The whole freaking thing is I don't know if they planned it to all come out that way or it just did. But what a great piece of entertainment.
And what did the director and the producer have to do to piece it all together? Jerry Lewis says he'll do the car bit, but he hasn't got time to do it twice, so he's only going to do it once. Run over the hat, done. Take. It's a keeper. Print it.
Yeah. It came to the point where people, and we're talking about it's a mad world. We're talking about that things were to a point where anybody who was anybody was trying to get a part in
everybody.
That movie.
Yes.
I mean, they were offering money. They were calling up. They were having their agents call. They were having the president of the United States call. Whoever it was that they knew to get in that movie.
But that's a little girl's bike, said Jonathan Winters. To Arnold Stang.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing, there's no bad piece in that movie. There's nothing, no fat, nothing needed to be trimmed. Nothing. It was comedy perfection from the time they turned the camera on the first day to the time they wrapped it at the end.
Jim Backus, I know you've got a big voice and you have a lot of comic background, but you're going to be passed out through all your scenes. All you're going to do is just flop around on the plane and you gotta, that's the good news. The bad news is you got to listen to Mickey Rooney for 2 weeks while we shoot this thing, but you'll get used to it.
You still can't from the collision to Ethel Merman slipping on the banana peel. I mean, it's everything in there.
The big W.
I thought it was there.
It was there.
Well, but not in the grandeur that they made you. But that was the greatest thing about movies, is it made you believe something happened on a scale that was way bigger than it ever happened. Right? I mean, that's...
now, Aloysius. What's up? Breaking news?
Yeah, President Trump has said he will take a look at pardoning defendants in the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping plot.
All they wanted to do was kidnap the governor of Michigan, who he doesn't like, so that's not a crime.
And her family.
Yeah, and her family. And kill the security guards that guard her. Is there any crime, is there any murder, is there any felon that doesn't deserve to be let go because of Donald Trump's skewed, jaundiced view of the world?
Is there anything in this? Is there any way to fix this?
There's no decency involved. There's no sanity involved. There's no experience involved. There's nothing but untrained, uncontrolled, unfettered ego, a filthy ego that cannot be decided, that cannot be satisfied.
Is there anything that anybody can, and again, I know, listen, I've had friends suggest to me what you can do, but is there any way that you can hold on to some kind of decent principles while solving this? It's out of hand. It's ridiculous. It's out of hand, Michael. It's out of hand.
Well, somebody's got to step on the soap in the shower and hit his head. Somebody's got to walk into a propeller or be sucked into a jet engine. Somebody's got to do something stupid. Donald Trump is prepared and poised to do something stupid that could cost him his future. Will that take place?
Could cost us our futures, him his, and his future. I don't, and yet it's not even the most unbelievable, preposterous part of it. The most unbelievable, preposterous part is that there is anybody on the planet
that thinks this is a great guy. What a guy. What a president.
This is a good guy.
Booby, you're just the guy we were looking for.
That this guy has a mind that can straighten this planet out. He's gonna, his country is barreling toward all-out war with itself.
With itself, civil war.
Barreling toward it. And at some point, you feel it coming. I know that the norm of things is that people sneak in from Central American countries here to the United States When do we start sneaking into Canada from the United States? When do we start to?
They can pick us out of the crowd. They don't want that. If they make us a deal, we could take California, Oregon, and Washington. Become part of British Columbia.
I'll do that in a minute. I have no problem with that in a minute. I mean, I just something has to. It can't. I just don't know, because they're not. They're no longer like ideas that you just sit there and say, well, that's just.
I wonder if that could happen.
That's just.
He's a kidder. Yeah.
This is not funny.
It's not like that. We're way past that.
This is not funny. It's not just Donald. It's not just him kidding around. And is there a person with the balls to stand up in this society and say that this guy is sick and twisted and demented and needs to be put on a track to a loony bin somewhere? And for
25th Amendment.
And for Christy Nome to say, yeah, I'm right. We don't need habeas corpus. Let's just put this guy away. We'll figure it out once we get him there. And while I'm not a big fan of J.D. Vance, could he be worse than what we're dealing with?
We don't know, because he's just following orders. It must stop. It must stop. It must stop. But it will not stop until we stop him. It's not going to be. There's not going to be any voluntary stand down. He'll have to be physically stopped from being president.
Yeah.
And on that note, Vinnie, it's good to see you again.
Yeah, Mike, I'm sorry I was late this morning. I was really between the computer not working to get going and my stomach problems and other problems that are going on. We made it. We're here. We
see you for Freaky Friday if you're.
Yes, we aim to please every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 11 a.m. 10:10 a.m.
10:10 or 11.
Or 11. You pick your time. Well, you actually can, because all you have to do is go to our page and click on the latest show, and it's there. You can watch it. We are on demand.
Damn, aren't we? We are demand boys. You're demand, I'm demand, and we're on demand.
But I'm ecstatic at seeing you back, and I'm sorry if I'm a little down. I just I just hope we get this figured out soon.
The world doesn't make any sense. We got to bring it back to focus.
Nothing makes any sense. It's not just. It's just not the way it's supposed to go.
Our space brothers are watching from orbit. Please come down to Earth and stop this mess. I implore you, come to our planet and help us out. We do the same for you.
Well, we like to think we would.
Leon Mucks, but Leon's rockets won't get us to where you are. Wherever you guys are and whatever you're doing, we can't get there because we're stuck with SpaceX, which apparently doesn't work.
Yeah, we need to call Bezos up and see if he'll lend us a rocket or two. Blue Origin. Blue Meanie. Why did nobody
the Blue Meanie.
the space program Blue Beanies?
They weren't thinking.
Well, we missed a golden opportunity. You know, the Beatles probably would have chucked in a little cash on that one.
And made some too.
Yeah. Oh, they would have cut a licensing deal, the likes of which we've never seen. Before
you don't look bluish.
Were what they are now.
Yeah.
All right, glad you're feeling better. Please send my love to your lovely wife. And thank her.
Taking a little nap right now. Well deserved. That's right. I thank you, Kristen. Love you for taking care of me. Thanks.
Yes. And I will see you on Friday morning if the Lord's will and the creek don't rise.
It'll be freaky. It'll be fractious. It'll be funicular.
We need a little funicular right now.
Damn right. Good to see your face, Vin.
Good to see yours too, Michael. I'll see you on Friday. Thank
right.
you all for watching.
The creek don't rise.
Catch up with you on Friday morning at 10:10. Peace, love, Manischewitz, baby.
I'm here to tell you it's quite a wine. See ya.
See ya.